I mean, this is what I love. You've got an iconic company, 1873. So, I mean, gosh, what is that, 150 years. I always talk about this 100-year plan and planning out every 10 years, right? So like every decade you kind of got to measure and change. But for 150 years, building something iconic, global, generational, gosh, I can't even imagine what they went through to have a business that's that transcendent of generations. I wish I could like extract all the knowledge and like inject it into myself. I wish it would keep me from making a ton more tuition payments. But that's part of the journey, I guess. So I love entrepreneurs. I love entrepreneurial stories. And this dude, Heineken, I'm not sure if he knew he was going to build an empire, but it's a big business. The biggest company ever built, though, was the Dutch East India Company. And Heineken is a publicly traded company now. I think they're the second largest brewer behind Anheuser-Busch. But you remember us learning about the East India Company when we were in grade school, heavily involved in trade, the slave trade. That company was also the first one to offer public stock, I believe. But the Dutch East India Company would be worth $8 trillion in today's dollars. Think about that. That's bigger than Apple and Google combined. Massive company. Okay. And Heineken, massive company by a founder. Today I want to talk a little bit about typography, brand. I hope we look at some packaging and learn the story from the inside. So typography says born in Amsterdam. Typography is like a dying art, and it's a big part of brand building. It's like, what is the type gonna say? The typeface, is it custom typefaced? Heineken uses a similar strategy to Origin, and this new brand that I'm working on called 20th Main. This is gonna have a similar feel. It's a serif font. What does serif mean? It means it's got arms and legs, right? So check this out. So this here, see these little legs? Those are little arms and legs, and that's a serif font. And a serif font for Origin works out really good, right? Why? Because it's a heritage-driven brand, and that's kind of has a heritage-driven feel. The Origin font, which I'm wearing, same thing, except I hand drew this one, and if you know in that font, Origin, you'll notice the R has a separation between it, and that's actually an anvil, okay? But it's bold, it's in your face, you can see it from afar. It feels like a old steel building. It feels like early America, early industrialization. They're very similar to the Heineken. Now Heineken changed their font in 2011 to be sans serif, without serif, and it looks like trash, honestly. I don't know why they did that. I don't know if they changed it back, but typography is a big part of expressing what you want your brand to be and what you want people to feel, right? When they look at or read your brand name, what do you want them to feel? I just think that's really important if you're starting out building a brand, and I think typography itself is a lost art. I just think it's so easy these days because everybody can be a designer. But not everybody realizes that those tools in Photoshop, on the side of Photoshop, all those little tools were real things at one point. I actually had thought about building a product, just like a side project, which was like a shadow box. And the shadow box has little boxes, and inside those little boxes are the actual tools in the Photoshop toolbar. Because people don't know that this is actually there were real tools that you used to use to make typography, right? And so typography is really, really important. What do you want your brand to say? What do you want it to stand for? How do you want the person to feel when they look at it or read it? Really. All right, now this is a mission statement on entrepreneurship. I have set myself the task of continuing this business with the utmost effort and painstaking care, and will leave no remedy untried to persist in supplying the best quality beer in the long term. The dude had power of purpose. He had purpose. He loved beer. He loved beer. It's funny, more typography here. This font I'm looking at is called Trajan Pro. I know that, right? Because I've been looking at fonts for 25 years as a designer, so check it out. See this font? It is a serif font. It's called Trajan Pro. And it's a cool font. I've used it over the years in different projects. Before I had my own brands, I used to build brands for 10 years before starting Origin. So I saw a lot of different brands, a lot of different entrepreneurs. Saw a lot of business relationships break up for new entrepreneurs, and then I saw how something sustainable can last a long time. So it's a cool font. I always think it more like it's got a bit of Roman or Greek feel to it. The way that the tails taper is pretty cool. A very well designed font. Some great old typography on this thing. This is a very cool packaging here. You can see the all caps sans serif font. Amsterdam, Rotterdam. That's an early version of it. Of course, they end up adding that mark, that red star, right? And the green bottle, red star. When you're on shelf and somebody's walking by, they know exactly what, you don't even need to be. You can be 20, 30, 50, 100 feet away. You can look across the grocery store and you see that thing and you know exactly what it is. You know exactly what brand it is. You only have 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention on shelf, especially as a new and emerging brand. If you're in the CPG, which is consumer packaged goods, which is Jocko Fuel, you want to make sure that you're standing out on shelf. So Heineken is a really good example of that, of changing enough over the years to stand out on shelf, while not losing their identity. That's the other key. Sometimes you need a full rebrand, depending on your business trajectory, the vision, but changes over time keep you relevant, or else you die. A brutalist interior, brutalist design, usually is built with concrete, simple shapes. I'm a fan of brutalism. I'm also a fan of like steampunk. I love the steampunk style. I also like Gothic architecture. I like everything. Artists, architects, entrepreneurs. These are the people has always inspired me. Like, I get my inspiration from visual cues and oral history, not as much as reading books. It doesn't fit my ADHD personality. So I got to find the information different ways. All right, so here's the variation over the years. So there's 8 variations right here, but it says Freddie Heineken was passionate about improving Heineken's advertising and image efforts. Transforming the Heineken logo was one of the first and most enduring achievements. Over the years, you can see there was some subtle changes, right? Some more extreme changes, and obviously they made some big jumps, right? I'm sure as their distribution increased, they made some big jumps, and this is kind of what I remember here. Big, bold name, right? They actually increased the weight of the Heineken font. I'm sure because they wanted this to pop on shelf to see it from across the store. And it says everything you need to see it. Heineken, lager, Heineken, premium quality. So simple naming convention here. But it's really important. It's really important you get your word mark right. With Origin, we started with a different word mark than we have now. We started with a different logo than we have now. We're making some adjustments to the Jocko Fuel logo. Tiny tweaks. More of an evolution, not a revolution. You know, we'll see how that does. But again, every 10 years, you got to kind of make some adjustments, and sometimes you got to make bigger jumps than others. And you don't want to tweak it to death. Like you don't want your shit to be changing all the time. You know, that's why I'm saying 10 years. I talk a lot about 10 years, 10-year chunks of time. It takes 10 years to do anything great. Some cool advertising. Check this out. That iconic green bottle, right? That's called color as a weapon, right? You don't want to freaking put a rainbow across everything and confuse people, right? You gotta have that balance of composition, naming conventions, typography, weights, what's big, what's small, what's important, compositionally, how the eye needs to flow, negative space versus positive space. Color as a weapon is really important, especially in the CPG world, because there's a sea of color. Like freaking, there's color everywhere, and so you gotta be smart around that. I love the design side of stuff. I love the brand side of stuff, the packaging. I designed a lot of packaging when I had my own agency back in the early 2000s for software companies. I mean, for barbecue sauce companies. Angostura started the barbecue sauce brand, which I helped them build. Companies in consumptive and non-consumptive sports. All sorts of different types of packaging. So I love that process of bringing something to life on shelf and making sure, like you would design a scroll stop, we call it. So think about this. For like Instagram, when people are scrolling, you want them to stop, right? You want them to scroll, boom, hit their thumb. It's called a scroll stop. It's the same thing in a grocery store. You want to make sure that person stops, picks your thing up and looks at it, or stops and reads it. So you need to scroll stop them in the store. It's art and science. It's art and science. It's not just about making something look pretty. It's not just about like what I like. It doesn't actually matter. What matters is that the consumer engages with it, depending on who that consumer is, who you're trying to go after. That's the other thing. Who's your target market? Who do you want to pick this up? Is this moms? Do you want the kids to be pulling on mom, saying, "Hey, mom, look at that. I want that." Is it athletes? Is it beer drinkers like Joe Parody, who just got a free token because he raised his hand because he liked beer the most? Wow, check this out. copper. So freaking cool. So cool. I think I'm going to use that as the Instagram thumbnail. Love this shit. Love the old stuff built the right way, man. Like that just, you can't beat it. Can't beat the way stuff used to be crafted, used to be made. Like it's so thoughtful. It took so much time. Hey, where are you guys? Well, I'm lost here. I'm still with the big copper things. Downstairs or upstairs? Up the ramp and then what, up the stairs or through the door? Roger, okay. I'm back. Civil disobedience. Try not to get lost again.
How'd you get lost?
Because I was blabbing my freaking mouth. I was not paying attention, as usual. Distracted. How can you get lost on a tour? That's how. Another good example of typography. All right, this looks fast. This font, it looks almost like a Good Times, but this P with the separation, the negative space, is different. So this is like modern. You could use this font for like science fiction. You could use it for technology, right? And of course, they're talking about a global experience here, yet they stuck with a classic serif font for their descriptor here. Okay, but this is an F1, this is F1 racing, and so they are using that font kind of technologically, I guess you could say. And of course, check the F1 logo out, which is fast. All right, F1 is fucking fast. All right, so here you go, F1. It looks like a racetrack. It's moving. It's at an angle, right? It's leaning forward, right? So it's fast, okay? I proposed a new look of Jocko Fuel to the team recently, which might be a little too soon for it, but it's very athletic looking. I don't think it was, I hand drew it, so it wasn't a font, but I don't think it was italicized. I don't think I italicized it. I think it was more a classic athletic. Like if you're watching a football game and you're in the stands, the reason they use the fonts they use, like the names and the numbers, is because you need to see it from afar, right? And so my idea is like, well, if you're in a store and we want to lean into athletics, then we should use something similar. So kind of thinking through that now, it would be a big change. So I'm not sure it's going to happen right now, but oh well, here we go. Look at this. Right, kind of. This font is more kind of they call this stencil, right? Because you would cut this out of a piece of paper and spray paint it or screen print it, so it's more stencil. Typography. is a lost art. People don't understand it. I should go deeper on it. I should go deeper on typography, but there's not a lot of schools teaching typography anymore. There's not a lot of like pure play design schools that really understand typography the way it should be understood, and the purpose of it, and the why and where and when to use it and how and the feelings it should evoke and all of that stuff. What fits together. So shit, I'm lost again. I just went in a freaking circle. Where's Waldo? Joe, get your beer yet?
I had one up on the roof. I have one here.
I got tokens.
I got a pocket full.
Oh, I bet you do.
More than I need.
All right, Joe. Cheers.
You guys, cheers.
All right. My first Heineken beer of my life.
Yeah, cheers. Your wives are with you, or are you alone here?
No, our wives are here.
Oh, okay. Wives, daughters,
Yeah. Wives, kids, all of it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you. I wish I knew what beer is supposed to taste like.
Really good?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what makes a good beer or not.
What do you think?
It tastes like beer.
Good, though.
Why is it good to you?
It's light, it's fresh.
It's cold.
It's cold, and it's free.
There you go. Light, cold, fresh, and free. Joe loves beer. Loves beer. Listen, I'm not a beer drinker, but I love the craft of anything crafted. The craft of anything crafted. That takes time and consideration to make a good product. Well, I guess somebody had to do it, which I love. That's the Heineken factory, that sliver on the corner. And there's a big ass Guinness logo with O'Donnell's bar. Let's go. Let's go, O'Donnell's. Put your shit, put your brand right in the middle of Heineken country. Love it. I love that. Competition. You gotta have that competition. It keeps you from getting complacent, resting on your laurels, staying innovative, staying fresh. That's what is great about capitalism. It's competition for innovation, staying relevant. It challenges you in a major way to stay relevant. That's really important. The strong survive, the most innovative survive, and that's all there is to it. And there's only so much market share.